What's going on? Good afternoon, live streamers, live in the tank. Fantastic Friday. We're talking about adversity, and adversity is something that we all encounter, right? And so as we wait for Keith to jump on here, he's going to be coming in from Memphis, Tennessee, rocking and rolling down in the southern parts of the United States. And so I'm so excited because, adversity is something that we must grow through. How many of you guys out there have dealt with some things in life that you don't always understand? Or how many of you guys out there have dealt with things that you had to go through and it was just a matter of time before you got the message of why you had to go through it? See, these are the things that we go through all the time, right? And we know that we must grow through adversity. What's going on, Michelle? How you doing? Melissa, what's up? And so today we're talking about how do you recognize growth, right? How do you recognize growth? And the key is how much pain can you withhold? Now, it goes right into exercise, where as we're lifting weights and we're putting on the resistance, we know that the threshold of our bodies, all right, is where we can continue to keep form, all right, so that we're not injuring ourselves and we're staying with our correct posture, but we're able to move the weight. And so you continue to increase that weight, all right, upon the strength that you gain over that resistance. And so the same thing goes in life. What's going on, Annie? As you go ahead and you add on more resistance, or as you go in and overcome or find these adversity parts of your life, you want to grow through them and you want to take on that resistance so that you can build that muscle, right? So you can feel good. So that next time when you throw that weight on there or that thing comes into your life, you're able to go ahead and conquer it and go beast mode on it and really, really feel achieved. So Keith's coming on here live. Let's go. Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, Big Keith? What's up, baby?
Yeah. So you can see over my head here, we got the Peabody Hotel Duck March in the lobby.
Nice.
I don't know how many of you know about it or have heard about it, but it definitely puts things in perspective for ducks to on the daily come down at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. from their rooftop penthouse and march through the lobby, out of the elevator, and into the fountain in the lobby. It's funny how many people it puts a smile on their face. So it really allows you to take a step back, take a deep breath, and definitely not get caught up in your setbacks like we're talking today, right?
That's right. And, as we look at those setbacks and we go through this adversity, right, these trial periods of resistance, Keith, I was just sharing with them the analogy we always use, right? We go to the gym to build lean muscle, right? We go in the gym to find the threshold of our pain so that we can go back, recover, and go do it again. So Keith, what has been your aha moments of really growing and learning through these setbacks and these resistance points in your life?
Well, I think in the past, the way I viewed a setback was why is this happening to me? Or why have I had to go through this? Or why have I been presented with this? And I took the why, which has such a strong emotional connection to me, and it ends up getting in my head a little bit, or I had gotten in my head a little bit in the past from that why question. I turned the why question into a what question. So when we get stuck in the why, when it's something from our outside occurrence, a lot of times we get stuck and it goes up into our head, and then we get in this story. So when I changed my why to a what, and I asked myself, even if it takes days, I mean, recently we've been going through a big thing with our family, as we spoke about here, but when I changed my why to a what, and I said, what else could this mean? Now, we always talk about the why, and when you ask why questions, they often come from source, but when we ask a why question based on an external occurrence, that is us seeking justice and not truth. When we talk about the what in this case, as in what else could this mean, and it may not come to you right away. It didn't come to me recently right away. It took days to get out of that. And once I figured out what this meant, what this truly meant to go through something like this, as painful as it is, was that the sun will rise again. There will be This won't be the last time that we go through this occurrence. And what it's going to prove is that we're strong enough. We are never presented with any test that we cannot pass, that we are not fully equipped to deal with, cope with, and learn from. And if I allowed myself for more than 90 seconds to get stuck in that, living in that setback, instead of learning from that setback, because the why was me living in it, the what is me learning from it. And if I spent more than 90 seconds there, I could no longer serve myself at the highest capacity, which we know in turn will allow us to serve others. And so on this Freedom Friday, the reason why I'm coming from the Peabody in Memphis is due to a very tragic occurrence that happened with my son and his teammates and his roommate. But the silver lining in it, once you get past the why, you get into the what, is that it allowed our family to show that what we've built will at nothing will tear us apart. Nothing will stop us from being together. I flew halfway across the country to be with my wife and my son in their time of grieving and mourning, so we could all heal together. No matter where things happen, when you create true freedom, you will go anywhere, anyhow, at any expense, and not make your setbacks, your current reality, take that opportunity away from you. And if you couldn't do that, if you couldn't do what I just did, well, then ask us how. Ask the question, how can I be in a place where no matter what happens, I can be there for those that I love, and never use the two most deadly questions, right? Deadly excuses. The two most deadly excuses that you'll be dead in the water, your ability to grow will not be present. That's, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and there's actually three there. My health, right? Health, time, and money. You need all three of those to truly be free and to truly express yourself fully in the world. And if there is something in any of those categories holding you back, well, on this Freedom Friday, we're giving you permission to reach out, to stop living in your setbacks, to change that, to change your future, to change your future's future, and the futures after that. So that's where I'm coming from, Aaron. So this topic really hit home when you brought that up this morning.
Right on. And that was the message that I received, because a lot of times we start to think about, okay, well, how do we grow through things, right? And we always say life happens for us, not to us. And that's only a well-developed and free mind that can really recognize that phrase, to understand what is life doing for us. Because if we can't show up in that place, then we truly aren't free, right? And so we talk about that all the time. It's like, where is it in your mind, or where is it in your heart, or where is it in your life on your day-to-day schedule that you aren't living your fullest? And what are you doing to address it? Are you ignoring it, right? Are you just making excuses of, it is what it is, right? Which is something I used to say all the time, it is what it is. And I started to realize what I was saying. What I was saying was I was willing to give up the ability to create by saying it is what it is, right? And that's not freeing, right? That's actually being a captive, right? On a ship that's floating nowhere, right? And you're basically putting up all of your creativity, all the things and the gifts and talents that you've been given to be strong, right? To be strong. And so we want to encourage everybody on this Freedom Friday just to identify those areas in their life that they're struggling the most with, and to reach out for support. Because here's the thing, it's much easier to go into the battle with a group of people that are willing to take on the challenges of life, and the adversity and the challenges and the obstacles, right? It's just like bringing a partner to the gym. You can push so much more weight knowing that there's someone there to support you, to back you up and spot you, right? And so keep getting a lot of oh. Awesome. I don't know how you did that, but yeah. So, going to the gym with a partner is so much more free, right? Knowing that you can go ahead and throw in some weight, that you may have not done before, or go into the discipline you haven't done before. And so we have a few comments here that I want to put on real quick. So David Jenkins said, my Right on, thanks, David. Jesse James, right on, Jess. Great message. Yes, absolutely. And so we have this right now. To identify those areas of need, and then reach out to the individuals in your life, know, like, and trust, and they will be there to support you. This is where the magic happens because Keith and his family are challenged right now, but they have each other, right? They can lean on each other. You know, if Troy didn't have his support of his family, just think about the pain that he would have to endure without being able to share that, right, with the support and the loving group. And so today, again, Freedom Friday is all about where in your life are you finding those pain points, right, where the resistance is so heavy that you need a spotter, and reach out. Reach out to a friend, a family member. Reach out to us. Comment below here and just say, hey, you know, I want to have a conversation because, see, we may have went through it or we may be going through what you're going through. And so we can go ahead together and problem solve. That's what it's all about. It's creating a culture where problem solvers will unite, come together with a vision of possible freedom. And where it can go from there is up to you. And be the creator. See, we talked about being a captive or being a victim versus being a creator and being a visionary. There's two different worlds that you can live in, and it's choice that we have. And free will, obviously, is the abundance of choice. And so we need to make sure that we are taking control of where that lives in our life. Because again, adversity will come. Trust me, challenges will come, especially if you're growing. And you know, I've talked to a few individuals who are going through some tough times in their life. And I love the fact that they're able to lean on the resistance and say, I'm going through what I'm going through right now because something huge is coming. That's the mindset you must have, that something huge is coming, because you wouldn't be going through the resistance if it wasn't for you to grow and build strength in an area that you need to be you need to be strong. Okay. And so today, Freedom Friday, adversity, use it as a tool. Okay, don't be a victim, be a victor. Be the one that's going to decide to go strong through life with your partners, okay, with the individuals that are willing to go through that pain with you. Find your spotters in your life, because I tell you right now, the growth that I've incurred over the last 6 years has really put me in a position to count on those that I hold close and far and close and dear to my heart, that will help me to challenge, to challenge myself and stay accountable and stay consistent with taking on that resistance. And it's just like doing sets in the gym, right? You go from 3 sets to 4 sets to go to 8 sets, supersets, giant sets, and you keep pushing the resistance to grow that muscle, right? To demand that it grows, demand that strength in life. And if you're not going through a setback now, look at it and say, well, where in my life am I not showing up at 100%, right? Because setbacks will come along the way with resistance. And so if you're not seeing that resistance in your life, then you're not playing full out. Play full out. Don't conform. All right? That's the issue a lot of times, is that we don't play full out because we get comfortable. We get comfortable in an area where we say, all right, well, you know what? The weight is as a reasonable weight, and I'm able to lift it and go through my workout, and I barely broke a sweat. But I did say I worked out today, right? I did say I'm living today. However, I'm not finding resistance in my life. I'm comfortable, right? I'm comfortable. And so find that resistance, seek that resistance, seek that uncertainty. That's where we must remind each other that that's what life's about. It's not about being comfortable. It's about becoming stronger each and every day, because someone in your life will show up needing you to be strong. And unless you went through what you needed to go through to be that strong support system for them, they're going to go on, they're going to move on, and you have failed them. And that's the worst feeling in your life, is when you know that you could have done something better or done something bigger, and you gave up on it because the pain was too strong. All right, and you weren't willing to go through that adversity. All right, so yes, Keith, thank you. View resistance as assistance. It guides ultimate growth. We're growing in 2018. Are you growing in 18? And if you are, and you need some support, go ahead and comment below. Say, hey, I need some support. Let's link arms. Let's go ahead and make this year special. All right? So as always, we want to thank hundreds of thousands of individuals that are listening to this video as it gets shared throughout the world. This is a living live, and I love it so much. This platform allows not only me and Keith to be able to share our messages, our opinions, and things like that, freedom, but also the world to be included in that as well. All right, guys? Love y'all. Have a fantastic weekend. Be safe, Keith. Have a safe travels to and from, and we'll see you guys soon in the tank Monday, 12 noon, within the tank with Keith Deyo and Aaron Hairston. Let's rock and roll, y'all. Be your best.